Good evening. You're watching Fiji Today News here on My TV. I'm Sarah Fatafe. The Prime Minister, Komodo Bainimarama, has stated that Fiji looks forward to working with the international community through the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination and the Durban Declaration to Fight Against Racism. Speaking at the high-level meeting during the UN General Assembly in New York earlier today, Komodo Bainimarama said addressing racism and racial discrimination is central to Fiji.
Commodore Bainimarama said the government is working towards dismantling all initiatives that institutionalize racial discrimination and encourage racism as a result. Commodore Bainimarama stressed in the UN meeting that declaration of equality in the law, in constitutions and in human rights provisions are only the beginning of a long and hard battle to transform unequal societies into communities committed to equality. He said the hardest battle of all is to dismantle social and legal structures that promote racial discrimination and then to change attitudes between communities. The Prime Minister said Fiji has a history of racial discrimination, and until 2009, the Fiji Constitution created a parliament which preserved communal seats where a voter could only vote if he or she came from the same racial group as the candidate. Commodore Bainimarama told the UN delegates that for 100 years, the different ethnic groups in Fiji were unable to call themselves Fijian because this was a term reserved for the indigenous population. He said citizens who were born in Fiji carried Fiji passports. They were called Fijian in every other part of the world, yet they could not call themselves Fijian in Fiji. Commodore Bainimarama said the government has changed that now, and every citizen can call themselves Fijian with no fear or reprisal.
Pacific Transport Limited executives met with the Land Transport Authority yesterday evening. The bus company that has the largest fleet in the country with more than 100 buses running confirmed they will ferry across a bus to the island next week to help with services. A company official stated that their buses are in good condition, refuting claims that it had mechanical defects. Despite the accident on the island, the official said Pacific Transport will continue to maintain its excellent service standards to members of the public.
An audit exercise carried out by both the Land Transport Authority and the Fiji Police Force on the Pacific Transport buses uncovered major defaults. Defaults were found with bus steering components, brake defects, and defects to transmission and electrical components. The buses must undergo a mandatory repair program and be certified before they will be allowed to provide services again.
We already decided to we made that decision yesterday that we are going to stop the bus service for a while. So right now, there is only one bus already being authorized or approved by the authority to provide the service. The rest of the 7 buses are now off the road, awaiting further repair work, where we'll then eventually have to approve that before they will go back on the road.
Pacific Transport is the only bus company providing services on the Garden Island.
This is a big issue at the moment. Lots of concern coming from members of the public, where they actually call on LTA, just to come and see, just to come and again check on those buses and how we can better the service.
LTA also meet with other public service operators to iron out other public transportation issues.
The Vice Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Hui Liangyu, will be transiting through Fiji next week. His Excellency Mr. Hui, who is the highest visiting official government delegates from the People's Republic this year, is expected to arrive on Wednesday evening and depart on Thursday morning.
During a visit to China by His Excellency the President Rotepeli Nailatikau last year, His Excellency Mr. Hui expressed his country's commitment to seeing the relationship with Fiji grow. He said that with frequent high-levels exchanges, China and Fiji had established important cooperative partnership and cooperation in such fields as trade, agriculture, culture, education and tourism had gradually expanded. The Vice Premier will be accompanied by 6 ministers and other top-level officials. Mr. Hui stressed to Fiji's president that the Chinese government attaches great importance to developing relations between the two countries and respects people's choice to develop path. Upon arrival, the Republic of Fiji military forces will conduct a guard of honor and a traditional ceremony of welcome.
We'll take a break now. Coming up, we'll look at how World Maritime Day was celebrated. That and more right after this.